Welcome to another episode of the Cat Breeding for Beginners podcast. I'm Pamela and I breed British Shorthairs in Perth, Western Australia. I have a real passion for cat breeding and exhibiting, and I want to share my knowledge and experience with you. I'm on a mission to help new cat breeders go from feeling intimidated, confused and having trouble getting started to confidently breeding happy and healthy cats whilst enjoying this amazing hobby. Before we get started, make sure you visit my website and download your copy of my helpful guide, Advice to New Breeders, where experienced breeders share some great tips they wish someone told them when they started breeding. You can find the link on my homepage at www.catbreedingforbeginners.com. Just look for the picture of Angelica with her kittens. A few days ago, I was contacted by one of the members of my new Cat Breeders Club. Now, one of the interesting things about the club is that as part of your membership, you are actually able to send me messages, send me voice messages, send me videos, and we can talk one-on-one. And so one of my members did do exactly that. And she wanted to talk to me about some problems that she was having with her mentor. And once she started talking to me, and I worked out a few things, I wanted to let her know that the person that she was referring to as her mentor wasn't actually what I would consider a mentor. Now, I get told a lot that, I'm mentoring people in the cat fancy. I've even had my members refer to me as that. I remember a couple of weeks ago at a show, one of my members put her arm around me and said, when she was talking to somebody else, she put her arm around me and she said, well, I've got a great mentor. And I know when it's said like that, it's said in the most well-meaning and kindest way. And I really do actually love that and appreciate that. But I kind of don't like the word anymore because it has taken on this whole thing in the cat fancy. And so let me tell you what I mean by that. When you first start breeding, I've got people that have come to me and have been just desperate because they don't have a mentor. Because they've been told by other people in the cat fancy that you have to have one. You have to have one. If they ask any questions, what is your mentor telling you? What does your mentor say? Have you spoken to your mentor? And it's really unfair because a lot of people these days, the way the cat fancy is now, it's closed off to new people. New people really struggle to get cats in the beginning. You've probably been through this yourself, or you're about to go through it. And a lot of the time you're getting cats from people that just want to sell you the cats and don't want to have anything to do with you after that. But there's this concept that you should get your cats from someone and that they should mentor you and guide you and help you right at the beginning and get you started, and then they refer to it as starting you off and things like that. And that's great. It's kind of not really a thing that happens anymore, though. It does a little bit, but what I actually see happening a lot of the time is something that I actually think is a bit of a negative thing. And what I've been seeing is that people come into the cat fancy as new breeders and they get their cats from people, and it's either that people don't want to have anything to do with them afterwards. Once they've got the money, we're done. Or people are using it as a way to control other people. And so it doesn't become, I'm going to help you with your breeding, or I'm going to, we're going to form a friendship and I'm going to help you. It becomes more of, I'm going to tell you what to do. And I'm going to make you an extension of me, and all of your decisions are going to be made by me. And that's not healthy. That's not good. So I think that's why I'm kind of balking at the idea of being called a mentor. Because when it comes down to it, if you are thinking about making a decision about your cats, and initially, yes, you'll have a friend, you'll have a relationship. Hopefully you'll have a relationship with the person that you've got your cats from. And once that first starts, the thing you need to look out for is, at what point can you start making your own decisions? So if you start making your own decisions and that causes problems in the relationship, then it's probably not a real sort of mentor relationship. Now, when you think about what that should be, a mentor is someone who has experience of that thing, and they're taking that experience and they're sharing it with you to guide you so that you can do the same thing and do it well and do it properly and do all of the things. What they're not doing is they're not taking that experience and using it as a weapon to make you feel small, to make you feel like you can't decide what you want to do, to make you feel like you're stupid, to make you feel like you're never going to be as good as them. to make you feel like you can't do anything without their say-so, to make you feel like you can't do the things that you feel you want to do because you're worried it will upset them. And I think that last one really hits home for me, because I have been in the situation where you're like, I want to do this thing, but I just won't do it because I don't want to deal with the fallout from it, because this person won't be happy or that person won't be happy. And you end up, I don't know, like censoring your behavior. You don't do the things you want to do because you're worried about what these other people might think. If that's the case, if you are thinking, well, I have this decision to make about my cats. Maybe it's a new stud cat. Maybe it's whether or not you let someone else buy a cat from you. Maybe it's the direction you want to go with your breeding. And I want you to think about this. If that's the kind of thing that you feel like you could talk to the person you consider your mentor about and have them help you move forward and make progress, then that's a great relationship. If you feel like if you talk to them about it, that they're going to be negative, they're going to tell you that you're being silly, being stupid, you don't know what you're doing, you're not experienced enough, get back in your place, if you feel like any of those sorts of things, then that's a toxic relationship. And it's probably one you don't need to have anymore. And so I think, when people come to me, and like I've said before, my members can come to me and they can give me messages, give me voice messages, ask me for advice. Every now and again I will say, you need to do this because it's really obvious. But I'm not normally the type of person that will tell them what to do. What I will do is I'll give them options and I'll say, have you thought about doing this? What would happen if you did that? What do you want to achieve? What are we working towards here? Does that take you any closer to your goal? Is that going to help you get there sooner? Those sorts of questions are the questions that they should be asking you. They shouldn't be telling you what to do. They should be asking you what you want to do and then helping you to get to that goal. And that's really what it's all about for me. So I guess I see it more as being a coach than I do as being a mentor. Yes, I've got lots of experience to share and lots of knowledge to share, but I think the thing that I am probably, proud of the most is the fact that it's more about coaching people to make decisions about what they're doing, so that they can make progress. Because, my thoughts about what you should be doing, are based on what I'm doing. There's no point you doing the same thing as me, because these are my goals and my dreams and my ideas. You should be doing what suits you and what you want to achieve. And you need someone that's going to be supportive of that and help you work towards that. So that's just what I wanted to talk to you about today. That is why I don't like to really be called a mentor. I think I prefer the idea of being a coach. I think that fits better with how I feel about things. And yeah, I think there's a lot of people in the cat fancy who've been around for a long time. If you ask them about the mentors they've had over the years, the ones that you'll hear all the horror stories about the people that we're controlling, and we're actually, you get the idea of that they have better self-esteem for themselves if they can give you worse self-esteem. So if you feel bad about yourself, they feel better about themselves. That's a toxic relationship. You don't need that. But if you ask people who've been breeding for years about, mentor relationships, what they actually, a lot of them have is they have friendships. And I consider that I have friendships. A lot of friendships with people who've been breeding as long as me, who've been breeding not as long as me. I have a couple of friends here in my own city who are breeding the same breed as me, and we get along really well. And yes, when there's things they need advice about, they'll ask me. We have a group chat and they'll ask me. But at the same time, I learn a lot from them as well. So it's a give and take relationship, and it's more of a friendship than, if looking at it from the outside, you'd be like, well, she's the established breeder who's been breeding 20 years and they've all been breeding for, 5, 6, 4 years, 2 years. So she's obviously the mentor of the group. Or is it just that we're a group of friends that help each other? And I think I like the idea of it being a group of friends that help each other better. But if you're finding yourself, that people are telling you have to have a mentor, what is your mentor telling you to do? Go ask your mentor. I want you to know you don't have to have one. You don't have to have one. You can be self-taught. That's fine. My early days as a cat breeder were pretty much self-taught. And that's absolutely fine. You can have someone that's helping you. You can be helping someone else. It's all okay. You don't have to have this magical mentor person to be a cat breeder. Absolutely not. But, if you are looking for a little bit of help, check out my new Cat Breeders Club, because the people in there are awesome. Like, a lot of them have only been breeding a short amount of time, but the amount of help they give each other is just amazing. And there's a lot of friendship in there as well. It's a really positive place to be. So if you're interested in having a look at that, check it out on my website, www.catbreedingforbeginners.com. And up the top, there's a little link to I think it says to the club. Go have a look at the page, see what's in it, see what it's about, see if it suits you too. So if you are looking for a mentor, maybe you need a coach instead. Okay, everybody, bye for now. Thanks for listening. Make sure you visit www.catbreedingforbeginners.com, where you can find articles, guides, courses, and more. Plus, make sure you check out my amazing New Cat Breeders Club. It's a supportive space where new cat breeders can learn, share, and help each other. I only take new members a few times a year, so sign up to make sure you don't miss out.